Report. And now your hosts, Scott Hammer and Ron Miller.
Welcome, race fans, to the Hammer Down Racing Report for Thursday. Gee, I did not update it. I'm still in January.
It's February 9th.
February 9th, show number 267 coming at you live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. From the John Young Racing for First Responders, and Dave Kemmer studio.
Well, towards the end of race season, we're going to hit show number 300, Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That math is too much for me.
I know.
Tonight on the show, we're going to be speaking with Michael Wood, a.k.a. Woody, from the National Compact Touring Series. They just had a big event down in Florida at the Freedom Factory, and then they're going to Bristol, Toledo Speedway, a couple shows at Sandusky. So a lot of interesting things going on with them.
And it's an interesting class. It
is, and it's kind of come a long way.
It really has, yeah.
Past 10, 15 years or so. Also, A.J. Sanders, winner of that event down in Florida, is going to join us. I believe he's from North Carolina. I'm sure Woody can let us know for sure.
We reached clear to North Carolina.
Yeah. That's it. We don't go to Australia with all your other folks there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Make sure to contact Freeze Frame Photos for all your racing photo needs, from action shots to victory lane. Forgot to push the button there. New items include custom kids cups, 20-ounce tumblers, water bottles, and all kinds of other knickknacks. Anything you can think of that you want your picture put on, picture of your race car, picture of victory lane, whatever, they can do it. Call Charlie. 419-476-9978. Freeze Frame Photos, special moments frozen in time. And also got to thank Oakshade Raceway, where the fastest meet to race. Make sure to follow oakshaderaceway.com or follow on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. And then you might be first to know when that 2023 race schedule will be coming out.
It's early.
It is early. It's still, yeah.
Spoiler alert, first race will be the last Saturday in April.
Also have to thank Big D's Pizza, Ron Miller Race Cars, Headhunters, Barber Studio and Salon in Perrysburg. Lots of Super Bowl specials for Big D's.
I saw that
coming up. So very cool.
Wings.
There.
What a.
We'll talk about that a little bit later. And we may have another sponsor working on another friend of Dean's, actually.
Ooh, food.
As a food.
Ooh, baby.
And we're talking about coming out and maybe doing some live things. He's got an actual eat-in area too.
Ooh,
so
all right.
Yeah. So I told him, we can sometimes be bought with food.
Absolutely.
Before we get to our guest tonight, let's start off with a little bit of some action from this past weekend.
Racing Roundup.
Oil Late Model Dirt Series was in action, actually still is in action, and will be continuing in action. But they were at Alltech Raceway on Friday. That was rained out. Saturday night, Ricky Thornton Jr. picked up his second Lucas Oil win of the season. Then they moved on to East Bay on Monday. Tyler Erb, Turbo, picking up the win there. And then a couple of first-time Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series winners. Tuesday night was Ashton Winger, and Ryan Gustin won last night.
It's pretty crazy. They've actually invited the guys driving rockets to come out and play.
What? They invited people?
Yeah. Well, actually, a couple of rocket cars have won.
There's
after they started at Vado with a Longhorn clean sweep, it's nice that there's some master builds.
So you like seeing different chassis?
Oh, I do.
Is there any proven chassis there?
Not yet.
Okay. All right. The Tezos All-Star Circuit of Champions at Volusia Speedway Park Tuesday. Brad Sweet picking up the win. Wednesday, Carson Baceto picking up the win last night, as a matter of fact. Some action out in Los Angeles, the Coliseum.
Yeah. Boy, Scott.
The Busch Clash, Martin Truex Jr. picking up the win in a, I don't really know how to describe it. It was this...
The word debacle comes to mind, but I won't.
I don't know if I go. I mean, it was interesting.
I don't want to rate it that high.
It got frustrating in that second half, trying like a lap caution, bumper cars. I don't know
After last year, they learned how to play the game, I guess.
And then one other note here. We had Charlie Mefford on a couple weeks ago. And did you see that last night?
I did.
Last night, he won the modified feature. I think it was because he was on the show a couple weeks ago. It just took a couple of races to take effect. Here's part of his Victory Lane interview.
I'm sorry, man. I don't ever get worked up like this, but this is a dream, man. Everything me, mom, and dad has ever worked for. Like, we never even thought about coming down here racing, man. There we are in Victory Lane. Like, I remember, like, way back in 2016, heck, I was a little kid. I was sitting right here with Tyler Isley after he won a Gator. And I'm bringing one home. Hey, this right here is putting Mountain Kentucky on the map, baby.
And he will still be in action tonight.
That is so cool.
Through the weekend.
He was so genuine when we had him on the show, so that interview didn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, so if you missed that show from, I believe that was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yes.
Yeah. So check out our January 26th show because that's actually what I still have in my notes here. I haven't updated that. I'm very bad at that. Let's bring in this week's guest, talk some Compact Touring Series action here. I know we have Woody here. Michael Wood, owner, is that accurate, of the...
There's two of us, so co-owner, I guess you would say.
Okay. And then I see AJ, but I don't see his picture there. We'll see if we can actually hear him.
AJ, can you hear us?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can hear you. I hope you hear me. I don't know what's going on with the picture. I don't know. Let's see here. Let me punch something here, see if it's does anything. There we go.
Hey!
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
pretty
you were just
phoned down.
We can
If it
see
ain't
you
a
now,
race car, I
AJ.
don't know how to work on it.
What was that?
If it ain't a race car, I don't know how to work on it.
Well, we come across that quite often. AJ Sanders, winner of the winter warm-up down there at the Freedom Factory. And again, Michael Woods, Woody, co-owner of the National Compact Touring Series. This is the second time you guys have been down there at the Freedom Factory, right?
Yeah, it is. The first time AJ's ran both the races with us. Did very good at the first one. Did much, much better at this one here. Took home the big win, the big trophy, and the big money. And then, of course, we are planning on going back next year. We're just waiting for the okay and the date. That is, I want to say it's our Daytona 500 for compact racing. That is, and AJ will probably agree with me, that is not just a legendary track, but it's a really good technical track to drive with. Don't you think so, AJ?
Oh, yeah. Both corners are different. It's rough, but it puts character to the racetrack. And the way I tell everybody, you can complain about it or you can just go out there and race, because every one of us have to go through the same holes, the same track, the same amount of time around it. So you just got to hope you get your car right. And luckily we did.
Now, you said this is the second time. What was it, 7,000 to win this past weekend?
Yeah.
I think we're losing you, Woody. You sounded like a robot.
Can you help him a bit there, Woody?
So that is Woody.
Oh.
It was 7,000 this time. It was 2,000. And the reason it was 7,000 is RevX put up a $5,000 bonus and made it 7.
That's all right. So how'd you do last year, AJ? You said you did much better this year.
Yeah, we finished third. We had by lap times we had the fastest car, but fast car don't always win. I've always said that, and we got held up behind some cars, and so I didn't want to run over them, and we finished third, and I was happy. And this year went down there and was in the top 3 pretty much all day, so we were happy again. Anytime you can be in the top 3 or 4, or even the top 10 with that caliber of cars and drivers, you doing something.
Last year I watched the race from Bristol, and boy, that was quite a show. I was really impressed.
And that was last year you watched it?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought this year was even better.
Oh, okay.
If you hadn't got a chance to watch it, you need to probably watch it. There's a lot of good side by side. I was on another interview yesterday, and they were talking about the Freedom Factory race, and man, they really built it up. He said it was the most professional racing for amateurs he'd ever seen.
Well, and the compact series has really come a long way since its beginning. You know, it was kind of just an entry level, you know, take what you get, and
there's like top level compacts now, which is kind of what the
even the local racing, Scott. The compacts have been putting on some great races.
Yeah. Woody, do we have you? Are you still there?
You have, if you want to jump off, call back.
Well, I heard noise, but
yeah.
I believe he's got to hang up and come back and reconnect.
Yeah.
Yep.
Try and reconnect, Woody, and if not, we can. You can dial me up here on the phone. There we go.
But you know, you're talking about the compact series. Look at the drivers that come there to race. I mean, you got Cletus. You had a truck series guy that was supposed to race. There's a lot of people that want to just be involved in this deal they have in Florida because it is such a big deal. And then this makes the drivers better, makes the cars better, makes the show better.
Now, you're from North Carolina, right?
Yeah, a little town called Mocksville. I don't know how much of North Carolina you know, but I'm between kind of Charlotte and Winston-Salem or Greensboro, right between those two.
Okay. Now, you haven't run just compacts. So you've run some other things, haven't you?
Oh, yeah. Back when I started, of course, I started in the what y'all call compacts. We call them mini stocks around here. And then I moved up to the super late models like you see them all around Florida and different places. I ran super late models for a long time with Jack Spraggs, Freddie Query, Rich Bickle. I mean, some of the best there, Dick Trickle at Concord when they used to come down for the Big Ten series. And it just got so expensive. I told my dad, you know, we running decent, but it's still not really feasible to keep doing this. So I moved back to four cylinders, and me and my dad raced together for many, many years, competing against each other. And that was kind of hard living, you know, around each other when you compete against each other. But hey, because my dad he was good, and he was really good in his day.
Now, is there any less fun factor going from the super late models to running, you know, the mini stacks, as you call them?
No, not for me, because I'm just a racer. I don't care, buckle me in anything. I've raced everything. You know, last couple of years, one of my sponsors, Radical Race Gear, Ralph Lamb, has let me drive their little cars. I'm trying to think. I went brain dead for a minute on the USAC midgets.
Okay.
That's what it's called. Now you talking about fun? Those little things will get up and go. And it surprised me because we actually ran up front both races I drove for him. Unfortunately, we didn't win, but we still ran up front and had fun in that. So, you know, I'm 54 years old, been doing it 40 years. I build my own cars and motors. I have a lot of help, machinist help and different kind of help that helps me. But, you know, I do it all myself, and that's what makes it fun. When you go win a big race like this or championships or any kind of racing, it makes you feel good because you and your family's done it. My little boy and my wife and even my older sons help me out.
Now, is your dad still racing?
No, my dad and mom has passed away. He passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But you know what? My dad had a great career in racing, but when he got sick and got down, it just took it all out of him, and that's when he actually went downhill quick when he couldn't get in that race car. And that's probably how I'll be, or anybody else that does it for many, many years. But
I think I understand.
So you know, when I go out there and race, I know I got him with me. So yes, he's still racing the way I see it because him and my mom.
Now you said you ran a midget. Have you ever thought about running the Chili Bowl?
Well, I like to run anything. If somebody wants me to drive for them, all they got to do is get a hold of me, and if it's a long ways away, fly me or tell me early, or I'll come drive anything if somebody wants me a ride. Because I just like racing.
Hey, I think we can hear you, Woody. You're moving now. We can see you, and I think you're with us. So And skip the phone for now.
I'm sorry, I didn't notice you joined me back on the show.
You weren't moving. I thought you were still frozen down there.
I don't stand still too long, so yeah.
Now,
I'm sorry about that. It seems like my neighborhood's having a little issue this week, or last night and today. So I thought we had it covered. So I'll have to go yell at some people.
It's real windy here, so I don't know
That's
if it's
part
windy
of
up
what
there.
we're having here too.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
A little bit of
Where
rain
y'all-
too.
So it says windy. Where are you from?
We're based in the Toledo area, Toledo, Ohio.
Oh, okay.
Now,
So we're
AJ, aren't you coming up to run our Toledo race with us?
No, I probably won't get to do that because of the Bowman Gray race. I have to run that schedule. Now, when is the Toledo race?
I don't have the schedule in front of me. Threw me on the bus on that one.
May 24th,
Yeah.
Something like that.
maybe?
Something like
I
that.
really,
I think it's the
do nothing until after Bowman Gray's over, which it's over usually around the end of September. And I have to do that. You know, we all have to support our sponsors because our sponsors support us. And unfortunately, you know, I can't just venture out. I did that a couple years ago and ran Florence, South Carolina, but that's when the COVID hit, and it just wasn't the same because your sponsors wasn't there. But like I say, after that or before that, anytime, I would love to come race if anybody's out there wants me to run something.
Now, we've got a lot of compact racers up our way. What is it that you race?
I race
Give
what
us
the
Give
it's
us a little
same.
bit of the technical end of
It's a
it.
Ford Mustang, and we're allowed to put aftermarket bodies on. In other words, we put the super late model style bodies on it. But the car itself, if you took and lifted the body up off of it, it's nothing but a stock 80s Mustang. Mine actually is stock as you're gonna get as far as suspension wise. Still got the 1980s bushings still in the front end of it. I never even changed them. So they're pretty much stock. We are allowed to take our shock towers and take the tower out, where they call them struts in the front,
Correct.
and be able to put adjustments there. But that's about the main thing we can do. It's nothing a lot different than what their cars are.
Now, are you racing against some of the front wheel drive cars too?
I don't race a front wheel drive, but I race against them at some different places.
And they're pretty competitive.
Oh yeah, they're competitive. You have around here, well, they don't let him run now, but Jimmy Krager was pretty tough at the track in Caraway. But if you go down at like Florence or down at Carteret Speedway, anywhere down that way, All American Speedway, they run the front wheel drives with the mini stocks, and yes, they're tough. So everybody's tough. You just got to be on your A game anymore. I've learned that the hard way. You sit back and you will get caught up to.
Now, you said you race at Bowman Gray. I see lots of videos on the internet. I think you know where I'm going with this. It seems to be a lot of altercations, I guess. Controversies, disagreements. Is that the case? Is it really that bad? Like every week there's a fight or something, or
I don't know if there's always a fight because there's so many law around anymore. But if the law wasn't around, they would probably be a fight every week somewhere. And not necessarily between the drivers. That's the funny thing. A lot of people think all the arguing and fussing you see as drivers. It's not. It's either other pit crews running that mouth, or a lot of times after the race, if they would keep the cameras on, is where you see a lot of the good stuff. Because you get people coming out of the grandstands that like a driver that you might have just bumped and knocked him out of the way or spun him out, and boy, they come down there, especially they've had liquid courage in them for a little bit that night. They want to come down there and run that mouth a little bit. But it's a place, I will say, it's a place you better be tough because you never know what's going to happen that night. But it's not as bad as what they portrayed it with the show and stuff. It's really not quite that bad, but it's close. It can be. I got a scar about, I don't know, 8 inches long where I had to have operation on my arm where I wanted to be stupid one night and retaliate. And I went to run into this guy's car, and I was going to take the whole front end off of it. And that didn't work too good for me because I hit his front tire, and upside down I went and broke my arm.
Boy.
So
Wow.
like I tell people all the time, if you're going to be stupid, you better be tough.
Well, that place, in all the videos I see, it's always packed, so I'm guessing it's pretty entertaining there. Maybe NASCAR should think about that for the Clash for next year.
Yeah.
How would it be any different?
You need to come there and watch the fans. I'm telling you, it's interesting. If you don't even see a good race that night, you'll see something good in the grandstands.
That's cool.
Yeah,
So-
that's what packs the place.
Back to this past weekend, that 7,000 to win. Where's that rank? I'm guessing you've been around. You've had a lot of racing, but where does that win rank in your as far as career wins?
It's one of the top ones. To be honest with you, it is the top one, I guess, as far as money. $7,000. I don't care if it's the mini stock or a late model or a modified. $7,000 nowadays is a good chunk of change for a 50-lap race.
That's more than they're paying for the first few first few nights at the Lucas Oil late models down there in Florida this week.
Right. I'm gonna bring 2 cars next year. I've already thought about that. I'm gonna hire me a guy to come and drive another car and see if he wants to come. I got a couple people I put in mind. One is one of my sons, and then I don't know if you ever watched the Madhouse, Jonathan Brown, they call him. He is really good.
You're bringing John Brown down?
Yeah, me and John Boy's good friends. Me and Tim Brown's good friends. Might even bring whoever. I mean, me and Tim, me and Bert, all of us are good friends. I know any of them would probably like to come run that race.
I would love to have them both in that race.
You talked about bringing 2 cars, and I saw Woody's eyes light up.
We might bring more than that. I got more cars than that, so you never know what I'll bring.
First of all, the caliber of cars that AJ brings, and the AJ builds a lot of the motors, from what I understand, for a lot of the guys that were there. And when he says it's just a Mustang body, and he needs to brag a little more. That is a full race car. That thing is super fast. The guys from RavX was over there, and they walked by that and they went, "That's not a compact." And I said, "It is, and that thing is fast." He knows how to put cars together, that whole crew that was with them. So when he said bring another car, I was like, great. And then when he said bring John Brown, I was like, yeah, those guys can run. The history that they've had, I had both of the top mod guys from Bowman Gray on our show at the same time, and it was just tremendous that they do.
That Toledo show we were talking about is Friday, May 26th.
Yep.
So that's what that is. Any chance, AJ, that you'll make any of the other races on the National Compact Touring Series?
The Toledo show, what day is that? Is that a Saturday?
It's a Friday night.
Friday.
Oh, it's a Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll like that track. It's a
nice
nice
big
track.
half mile.
Yeah.
I guess if we could really get somebody to help me drive, we could drive all night and come up there and race on Friday night and come on back and race Saturday at Bowman Gray.
Maybe I could ride back with you. I still haven't made it to Bowman Gray, and that's one of my bucket list tracks to hang out with. So maybe I can ride down with you and fly back. Who knows?
Hey, that's fine. I can get you in that. Like I say, you come on in there and I'll take you up and introduce you to all of them. I mean, they're good people, honestly. You see them on TV, but I'm telling you what, Tim Brown, Bert, John Boy, Randy Butner, great friend of mine. I mean, every one of them over there I can take you to, and they all know me, and they're great people. They invite you in there to eat, whatever.
Toledo Speedway is a well-banked half mile. You'll enjoy that one.
Oh, I like half miles. The bigger, the better.
Awesome. Well, AJ, we're going to let you go here. I want to talk to Woody and focus more on some of his series stuff here, but I appreciate you giving us some time and joining us here this evening.
Thank y'all for having me. Like I say, it was a big win. Yeah, I know, Robert, my buddy, he helped me set the car up and he got it where it was at. But, I got to thank my sponsor. If you let me have just a minute to do that. Twin City Towing, Carolina Triad Source Realty, just Clifton Plumbing, Jerry Hunt Super Center, just all the people that helped me, my family. My little boy spots for me. He's been doing it since he was like 11 years old, spotting with radios, and he is as good as you're gonna get. People actually, he done it for a modified from up north, but like I say, I just like to thank y'all for what y'all have done to give us the opportunity to get on these shows as little guys, because I've been in the super late models, been up there with the bigger boys, and I've been down here with the little ones, and the little ones are just as important as those other guys, as you Rich Bickles, you Jack Spraggs, or whoever. So to thank y'all for giving us the time to be on shows and putting us out there in the spotlight for $7,000 to win.
Scott, before we let him go, probably ought to let him know what we expect from his next race.
Well, yeah, speaking of that, what is your next race? When's the next time you're going to be on the track?
I'll be on the track in March at Hickory. They got a series coming in. You may know about this one. It's called ACT ACT Series. I think it's up in the northern part, up towards.
Right.
So they're coming down here and putting on a race and invited us to come over there and run a 2-day show, a Friday and Saturday, and both days pays pretty good money. So it's gonna be tough though. Anytime you outrun the Knipes and with anybody that we race it with, you got to be on the A game. Chuck Wall, the whole deal, because Chuck has really stepped his game up.
Well, as Ron was saying, our guests typically go on to win one of their next few races after coming on the show. We had Charlie Mufford on a couple of weeks. He picked up his first win down there in Florida last night. So we have high expectations of you there in March.
We picked up a win before we came to Florida. We went to Caraway, and it was a big race. We won it. And then we came down there and brought home the hardware and the money from down there. But unfortunately, I know you don't know about this probably, but my toter home broke down coming home, so it broke the crankshaft, the motor in it. So now I got good friends. Jesse Yomp, Woody knows Jesse. He's got a truck, and he's going to offer to sell me it at a decent price, but it's going to take every bit of my $7,000 just to get going again.
Oh.
Well, you just need to go win that next race, and then you can keep that in your pockets.
Like I tell people, the good Lord was on my side, because how about if I hadn't won the $7,000 and still broke down?
Yeah.
So God, you got to look at it. God has a plan.
AJ, thanks so much for spending some time with us.
No problem. Thank y'all. Anytime.
I'll see you, AJ.
All right. AJ.
He's a character. I love AJ.
Absolutely.
Sounds like he's a really good racer, too.
Yeah. With a fast car.
All those guys can really wheel. They can wheel. They're very fast. They're good teamwork, and they're just a tight group of people out there.
Now, give us a little history on of the National Compact Touring Series. This is your 10th year. How did you get here?
Well, we started out at Vors down in Indiana. It was a Vors North and Vors East. Drew Jack, my co-owner, used to help them out, run with them, and they separated, and we took the North, which became I think it was the Midwest Compact Touring Series at that time. We ran a couple of years under that banner. I came on as a photographer, graphic designer, marketer, just to help them out. And I think on their second or third year during the awards ceremony, Drew made the announcement that I was part owner at that time without even telling me. So that's how I got involved.
Did he just grab your wallet and take some money out, or?
He has a way about doing that. It's more of, hey, pull your credit card. I need that, take care of that, order that kind of thing. But no, we've been working as a team for 7 or 8 years together. I know that I started with them actually. I believe the last race that they did as Vors North. I was down in Indiana doing some racing with them. So I mean, I was working with them, but I think it was just maybe it might have been right away I started doing graphic. It's been so long. I've been doing so many tracks and stuff like that in the past. But Drew decided that we're going to start expanding, not just in Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, Wisconsin. We started going to New York. We started going to North Carolina. And he's like, you know what? We're not Midwest anymore. So we went to the National Compact Touring Series, picked up a title sponsor about 7 years ago with RevX. So it's National Compact Touring Series presented by RevX. Big, proud sponsor of ours. I mean, They put up that $5,000 bonus for the A. And then when they got to the track, they saw what we were doing. and they added a $400 bonus to the B.
Wow. That's it's good to have sponsors like that.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I mean, what kind of payouts do you typically have for this series? I mean, I'm guessing the 7,000 is like you said, your Daytona 500, so it's a little bit of an anomaly.
Well, that was an original $2,000 to win.
Okay.
Typically, our races are going to be we have actually two series. We have the National Compact Touring Series, and we have the Midwest Dirt Series. Our Midwest Dirt Series, we're talking, I think, $750,000, $1,000 around there to win. And then our compact or our asphalt series, I think every race, don't take me for pull on this, I think every race is over $1,000 to win. We might have one that's $750, but I think they're all up there in the 1,000 plus.
Now that's some
It
good
is
green there compared to the regular weekly series.
Oh yeah,
at
and that's
local
part
track.
of what you've got to do it. Like AJ's car and some of the other guys. Kyle Ramsey put in there that when you have a $10,000 compact, which these guys do, and that's probably a $10,000 compact is not the top five. Wow. I can tell you right now that I know some guys that's got more than that in their cars. These are not. And people ask me when they come in, compact racing, why? And I said, well, these are not the grab your grandma's car and knock the windows out and throw a number on it. These are full-fledged race cars.
What are the rules for those two classes? I mean,
not
all of them, but in general.
I'm not the guy. I mean, I look at them. First of all, safety, full containment seat, head neck restraint. We're going with the no go gas tank. It's a safety tank. No tube chassis, I believe, in our regular season. Of course, the Freedom Factory is a little bit different. We had 3 different series running there. We have the Dash series that runs out of Wisconsin, and we had the North Carolina mini stocks, and that's where AJ's part of. So those rules are a lot different than what we run. We run a lot of Hondas and Preludes and Civics and stuff like that. There's a whole list. If you're looking at maybe thinking about running with the National Compact Touring Series, you can go to nationalcompacts.com or nationalcompacttouringseries.com. The rules are on there. Or if we're run with the Dirt Series, and there's some really cool Dirt Series running up, and that's MidwestDirtRacing.com.
NationalCompacts.com.
NationalCompacts.com. I've got so many websites I deal with. So yeah, NationalCompacts.com and MidwestDirtRacing.com.
So I'm just thinking if I was a compact driver or the Renegades at Sandusky, if I'm one of those drivers running the weekly series, do I have to make any big adjustments to be able to race with your series, or am I even going to be compatible?
The Renegade series, you want to win or you want to just place? I mean, when you're looking over at Sandusky, you're looking like Clayton Oliver. Clayton Oliver is one of our top runners. He did really, really good. Oliver, they brought 3 cars, and one of them was a young kid. I think it was his first race or second. I'm not sure exactly how many races he was in. But Clayton Oliver is always a force to reckon with. So if you're familiar with Clayton Oliver's car, that is a National Compact Touring Series.
It's a nice looking car too.
It's a very good looking car. Chris and those guys over there did a beautiful job wrapping that thing.
One of our local racers, Corey Gum, does a fair amount of traveling. I didn't know if you had.
He's raced with us He's raced with us a few times, quite a few times actually. But yeah, Corey's one of them.
His actually, I think his car is going to be in my shop next week. His new car.
Okay. But yeah, it's like I said, that's the type of cars we have. When you talk about your Renegades, we go to Sandusky. Sandusky is one of the top 2 tracks that support us. Kalamazoo Speedway and Sandusky Speedway are just, if it wasn't for them, I don't think we would have a series. They take us under their wing. When we have an issue or something happens, we can call one of those tracks and say, hey guys, we've just lost 3 races. We need a date. And those guys will jump in. I can tell you right now, I think it was like at 6 a.m. on Saturday after the race. The promoter from Sandusky Speedway, Chris Mize, was on the phone with us, seeing how it went. Of course, waking us up, but Chris Mize was one of the first ones to call us. Gary Howe, who runs Kalamazoo Speedway, during the race, he sent us notes, seeing how it was going and congratulating us and stuff like that.
Yeah, so a lot of respect for Chris Mize.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he is one of those. He's one of those. I love Chris Mize. He's one of those that looks gruff and tough on the outside, but you know what? He'll give you a shirt off his back if he believes in you.
Absolutely. Now, we mentioned the Toledo Speedway is the first time you guys are going to be racing there on Friday, May 26th. Any other first-time tracks on the schedule this year?
We have a big one, huge one. Cletus McFarland announced it 2 weeks prior to the event that we did over there that he invited our dirt series to run April 22nd on the dirt at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's an invite only. And so it was 40 cars. We have 40 spots filled. We do have a backlog of cars. So please don't call us up and go, I want to race. It's an all-star race for the dirt series and our asphalt series. But we will be April 22nd, Bristol Motor Speedway with Cletus McFarland and the Ranger Danger race. So they have it over there.
Nice. Now, your actual season, I'm assuming you have a points fund for your two series. When that actually doesn't start then until the week after? Or
I believe it's April. I'm going to look at the schedule. I thought I saw a race on April 11th, but I wasn't sure if that's dirt or asphalt.
I see the asphalt.
It's
I see the asphalt schedule, and it looks like the next race after Bristol is Berlin on May 20th.
I know we have 2 dates over at Berlin. Berlin's another nice fast track, and NASCAR sanctioned or NASCAR ran it. So it's a really good run track, beautiful track. We've been there quite a few times, and we just can't wait to go back there.
But starting with after Bristol, then everything is points races?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, everything will be point races up to that point. RevX has the points fund with us, which was really, like I say, that's what Dan jumped on board and goes, I want to run the points fund. Not a lot of tracks, not a lot of series has a points fund. That's what's really nice about it.
I was going to say, what's the incentive for that? What kind of funds are we looking at going to the champion?
I don't know. Well, because we do pick up some other where, we have people pulling in weeks out at the end of the year. I let Drew deal with all the money. If I try to be the looks, so what's really bad if I'm the looks of the series, but I try to make us look good. My job is to make us look good. Drew does 100% of the track. He gets those on board. 99.9% of the sponsors Drew does. I just do the marketing, social media, pictures, try to make the drivers look good, talk to them. Drew does more work than anybody else. I think in any type of racing form, Drew is nonstop working. And racing, trying to make everybody happy.
Back to the rules. A couple other questions I had on that. AJ mentioned his car rear wheel drive. Was that a special thing for the Freedom Factor, or do you allow rear wheel drive?
What that is it's part of the North Carolina mini stock, and
okay,
that's why they got to do it. They only run with that. I know that we have invited a bunch of them to come down and run with us at your guys' track over there. I don't know how they're going to do that, if they're going to have a second car or if they're going to, but we only run those cars, that car kind of during those races. Now the Midwest Dash series out of Wisconsin, we used to own that. We turned it over to actually the drivers over there a couple of years ago. We had actually, I think 4 different series we were trying to do. Actually, at one point, I think Drew had 6 series we were trying to do out of it. And we just went, okay, we got to calm this down. So the Midwest Dash, they have some cars like his rear-wheel drives that do come over and run with us. So there is a couple events that do allow it. But it's in the rules on how there's a weight restrict, stuff like that. I believe the rules are I just looked up here and the rules are not on the book right now, but they are coming up on the book very soon.
What about motor? Is it 4 and 6 cylinder?
When it comes to when the dash rules are 6-cylinder, 4-cylinder, majority of ours are all 4-cylinder. Okay. But like I said, the rules, I guess we're pulled them down because they were doing a couple updates on them. They will be up within the next week or so. We're still reeling from that event last weekend. That just pretty much took us out.
Now, your schedule is pretty much set. Is there anything going to change in that? Maybe some dates added still?
There's always, I know we've gotten 2 or 3 calls within the last few days about promoters going, okay, let's try to find a date for us. There still might be a race or 2 thrown in. I mean, when you've got that, you're looking at the asphalt. We also have the dirt. We have like another 12 or 13 races in the dirt. And Drew and I will go off and we'll lease a track. I know we're going to do it at least, I think, 3 times this year. We lease a track and do special events. We're going to be March 18th over at Springport Mid Michigan Speedway for an enduro. We do those typically on holidays. We do our Thanksgiving one. We used to do a Christmas one. We skipped that since COVID, but we do a Thanksgiving race. We're going to be doing a St. Patty's race. And then we've got releasing sometime in June, Hartford. We're going to be doing for the dirt race, and we're going to be doing some special stuff there, which should be fun. But we do enduros here and there, which helps us out, gives us something to do.
And one question that was coming up and has been answered several times with the announcement of the Toledo Speedway date. I think most people thought initially that, those are the compacts. They got to race on the quarter mile. You guys run Bristol. You guys are running the half mile. It's not the little stuff.
No. And like you say, we're running that half mile with you. I think we call it a big 3/8 over there. So I'm getting some answers over here. We are allowed to run rear wheel drives in the North Carolina or in the National Compact Touring Series. Drew Jack's on board listening to us. Kyle Ramsey's he's going to be running with us this year. He's up in that area where you're at. The cylinders are up to a 2.5 cylinder V6 up to a 3.5. So they are allowed. Like I say, I'm not the rules guy. You want rules, I'll send you over to our technician. If you want anything else, we just call people. But they're on there. So if I'm saying something wrong, these guys over here in the answers, they'll answer it all for us. Kyle Ramsey's all over those rules. He knows it really well.
Is there anything special that a driver would need to do if he wanted to join up with your series?
Well, contact us right away. First of all, we're doing a registration. When you register with us, you get the full registration for the year. You don't have to pay at each track. You will get a RevX package to help you start your season out with the proper stuff to get you go faster and save your engine. And then, like I say, we'll check the rules and you're ready to go.
What's the registration window as far as dates go for that?
Registration it's open from now. I mean, you can register right now. It's been open for the last month, I want to say. And I believe you can do it actually after the season started.
Okay.
Because we have a few guys that decide that, we're going to do 1 or 2 races, and then they're going to show up and they're going to run the first 2 races. Oh, I want to do this. I want to run Berlin. I'm going to run Toledo. You know what? I'm running really good with these guys. I want to come every weekend or every race with it. So then they'll sign up then.
Now, you guys also do a weekly show, I believe, as well. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Well, our weekly show, we help out. I was working with Galesburg Speedway, Kalamazoo Speedway for years. Drew Jack helps out with Kalamazoo Speedway. We don't really
I'm on a show. You do a show.
Oh, our talk show.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, you're talking about Compact Weekly presented by RevX.
Yes.
Yes. We have Compact Weekly every Tuesday night over at the National Compact Touring page at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You can always tune in and hang out with Drew and myself. We're going to start bringing in a couple other guest hosts to go with me, and we're always bringing in guests and guest talkers, all kinds of fun stuff. We're gonna start having fun with that. The last few weeks have been, Freedom Factory. Now it's time to relax a little bit, have a little fun, then get ready for our next big race at Bristol.
And I thought I was listening to that show that you did just the other day, and I believe I was working at the same time, so I wasn't totally focused, but I thought I heard something about North Wilkesboro.
We do run that. I think it's not on the schedule right now. Drew's in the wings. He could probably put that on there. What's going on with that? We ran it last year or year before. I wasn't able to make it. I had other duties going on, but that's just one of the tracks that we hit.
Nice. So that will be on the schedule is that a point race too?
It will not be a points race, I believe. If I'm wrong, okay. Drew will pop in there and say, Woody, just stop talking. You don't know what you're doing. He'll tell us all about it. But that's something you can always contact us with. Like I say, I don't know that one right now. It's still being finalized, I believe, or something like that.
All right. So what event this year are you most looking forward to, either between the asphalt or the dirt series?
I enjoy almost every event because, our guys run really good. Of course, like you say, Freedom Factory. First of all, I'm up in Michigan. When we were down there, I called my friends, and when I was 75 degrees, it was 0 here. So, yeah, I like going to Freedom Factory. There's no race at North Wilkesboro in 2023. We ran it last year. See? Woody, shut up. Told you he'll say that. Yeah, that's one of the races we ran last year. And actually, what's really cool about North Wilkesboro, when they started doing the revival, we came back. We were the first to actually race on the track. It was us and a couple other classes that brought that
I remember
back.
that.
And I believe NASCAR's taking that over and rebuilding it up. That's probably why we're not here in 2023. But yeah, we were the first ones to bring that back.
They're doing the All-Star race there in May.
Yeah, so that's why we're not racing, is because, we were on the schedule for dirt actually at the end of the year, and NASCAR went, hold on, we're going to do some stuff here. So yeah, that's why we're not going back to North Wilkesboro, because NASCAR stepped in and decided that we did such a good job. The racing there was so good and people wanted to see it, that they're going to do some stuff there.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed in that. I kind of wanted to see the dirt at North Wilkesboro.
But, we got dirt at Berlin, or at Bristol. Can't talk today. At Bristol. So when you're talking about, races I want to see, I enjoy the Enduros. I enjoy the bigger shows we do. I enjoy going to Hartford, seeing the cars slide around there. It's a different track. I've done some spectator drags on that. They won't let me get into a race car for some reason, but we did that.
Were they there watching when you did the spectator drags?
Well, people were watching as I was trying to crash my car, but that's about it.
Hartford would have been a challenge before they reduced the size. A challenge for the compacts.
Yeah, it was. That was a big track. That was a huge track. It was. But it's a beautiful track. Tim over there does a great job. They're grooming it, and really good friends of ours. We typically have an event or two over there every year.
So if anybody, fans or racers, want to get more information on the National Compact Touring Series or the Dirt Series, where can they get that again?
Well, you can always go to nationalcompacts.com, midwestdirtracing.com. Go to our Facebook page and reach out to us that way. It's just fun. When you talk about also some of the tracks you went, it's not just – we've had good drivers in our cars. The car that Cletus McFarland jumped in, we've had multiple people in that. We've had Kenny Wallace, Kenny Schrader. Kenny Schrader took the black car, which is the exact same car as that, and went over and broke the track record in one of the Ohio tracks. Joe Nemechek, Rich Bickles ran in those cars. Cletus McFarland. We've got a couple of big names that we're putting in it pretty soon that we hope that's coming in real close, actually. Nothing, we just got to cross the T's and dot the I's. But we've got some, ex-NASCAR drivers that come in and have fun with us.
So you can't disclose any that are be in any of the cars this year just yet?
Nope.
Not even a hint?
Nope. Because there's nothing, the people that we're looking at, and it was really cool because we had Carson Hocevar was going to be in a car for this year. And his sponsor contacted us, I think it was the Sunday before the race, and said, Drew did. And he said that, see, Drew put on their Carson Hocevar. Carson's been bugging me. I've known Carson since he's been about 7-8 years old. And he's been telling me, hey, I want to run your series. I want to run your series. So we put him in the car, and he had to bail out and had to go to California for the Clash. So we started making phone calls, and Matt Crafton is interested. We didn't get to put him in there. See, possibly Matt Crafton. But Matt Crafton was very interested in jumping in one of our cars. Last minute thing. It just everything happened so fast. We weren't able to get everything done on that. But Matt is still one of those guys that wants to jump in our car.
Matt's one of those guys that does a lot of different racing. Mm-hmm. I see him a lot, even around here in his modified. I know he's down at Volusia race. I watched him race with Ruhlman last night.
I saw that.
Well, he's got Travis Pastrana and Jimmy York. Jimmy York's been running with us for a couple things. We're bringing Jimmy up in June, and he's got some other things that Jimmy wants to do. Jimmy's the backup driver for Travis Pastrana, but they're both in a dirt modified, I believe it is, of one of Matt's.
Nice. Well, this has been very interesting. I wasn't, I've always heard the National Compact Touring Series or Fours and all that, but we haven't really delved into it that much, and it seems like something that's up and coming. I mean, it kind of reminds me, I don't know if you remember the Goodies Dash series. Mm-hmm. Is that, where's this series going? Are you guys going to go to Daytona like that series did?
We would love
someday?
I don't know. I mean, that's, I don't know if our cars can gear that. I mean, we did North Wilkesboro, which is a big track, but I don't know on that. I mean, of course, yes, our answer is yes. We're going to go to Daytona someday. And it says here, Dave just said, Pastrana just won his feature. I love it. I'm going to have to send a message out to Travis tonight. But the series, like you mentioned, the Voras and ours, one of the things that I really liked what's happening with the big tracks we're doing is we're bringing compacts to the masses. I've been on quite a few shows, and they're like, no one ever thinks about compacts. But
or if they do, it's they're the bottom of the rung.
The real entry level
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
well, compact. If it wasn't for compacts, at least up in this area, I think 2/3 of the tracks would close if it wasn't for their compact series or their compact races or classes or anything like that. There's enough of it on there that they keep the tracks alive.
Well, I know at least at Oakshade, our class this year was the biggest it's ever been.
It was
like 40 plus cars.
Yeah,
a couple
A
nights.
and B main every night.
Now, if anybody's interested in seeing what a compact race is, you can still go to Cleater Vision, go to cletusmcfarland.com, baldeagle.com, any route through there, or just put in Cleater Vision. You can still order the pay-per-view for $4.99 and just watch our race, or you can order for $99 for the year and you can watch everything that Cletus does, but you can still go back and watch how we do it at that track. It's just that, and the production value. The production value that they do over there is just top notch.
Any of your other events on any kind of streaming service?
I'm not sure on Berlin. I know Berlin has their own streaming service, so we'll probably be on. I think that's on Flow. It just seems like as it gets closer to it, things jump in. But I think Berlin's the one of them that does stream. Bristol will be. Kyle says, Bristol will be because it's going to be on Clear Vision.
Okay. It was like on some like Racer X or something. I don't remember what it was. One of the weird streamers that did Bristol stuff last year.
Well, that might be Bristol, but Cletus will come in with his crew,
okay,
and run his own streaming service from there. So it would be a great system.
Didn't he run? He ran a stock car, I think, like a street stock.
He's been in.
So
it was really funny. Yeah, well, did he run at Bristol? Yeah, he did run Bristol. He ran. I think he ran an Outlaw late model along with a stock car. Because I think he was in 2 cars at one, or practiced him at least. So it was really cool. Is when Cletus found out that we're going to bring front wheel drives out there, he's like, okay. And we dropped off the car a few weeks ahead of time. And he kind of looked at it and went, well, this doesn't look like a compact. And when they started that thing up, he's like, this sounds like a race car. And he jumped in it. And it's really cool at the time because Cletus had owned the track for a while. We are actually the first series to come into Freedom Factory. Drew, one of the guys, one of the best in the business, doesn't give up. I think it took 2 years of phone calls. And finally they said, okay, let's sit down and talk about this. And they brought us in. So Cletus goes out and does his first laps. And he comes back and he goes, that is the fastest I've ever done on this racetrack. And since then, he's been in dirt late models. He's been in street stocks. He was in one of Robbie Gordon's off-road trucks. That's if you go to YouTube on that, he almost won that until the very last, I think, 200 yards from the start-finish line. And
I think I did see that.
Yeah, he kind of lost it. But he has been in a lot of things. And maybe he's got the bug now for circle track. We never know.
Now, back to Drew. You said it took him 2 years of calling to get at the Freedom Factory. How many years of calling did it take to get into Toledo?
4. I want to say 4 or 5. I mean, that's what's really funny is because I'm always said, hey, I know, Rand, the photographer over there. I've known Rand for very many years. I know a couple guys. 10 years. Drew's funny. It took 10 years. It is. That's what say Drew is very persistent. He don't take no for an answer, and he don't bug you, but he lets you know we're there. And it did. When he said we finally got that track, I was like, all right, now he's going to spend the next 10 years trying to get Daytona or something like that. Who knows? But yeah, 10 years it took us to get into that track.
Awesome. Looking forward to that this summer, as well as all your other dates. And as you mentioned, Bristol coming up on the 22nd of April. So,
if you don't mind, I'd like to, you can't run a series or a track without help. We've talked about RevX doing the big, payout on that. They're also one of our title sponsors, our presenting title. So RevX products, you provide the abuse, they're going to provide the protection. So if you're looking at getting some information about how they can protect it, just go to revxoil.com. One of our proud supporters, How Patio and Windows, David. Boy, I'm getting tired.
Start
here.
over.
Yeah. How Patio and Windows over there. Some of the best ones out there, along with Kalamazoo Speedway. Mr. Howe there, just supporter. U.S. Speedo, they are a repair and service for speedometers. They are our winner's circle sponsor for the last race. Dixon Flannel, this beautiful flannel I got on, they jumped on board. Every winner this year will get a Dixon Flannel. Just come in, race, and you'll do that. Last year we had Pit Viper, which was really cool. This year we're going to do Dixon Flannels. Hawk Performance and Lane Automotive. Lane Automotive has been with us for 4 or 5 years now.
Good people. I do a lot of business with them.
Oh, yeah. And then, of course, we to make us look good, HP Graphics do a lot of our stickers and stuff, all the stickers that went on the cars for the windshields. And HD5, Horvath Designs, did our beautiful trophies. If you haven't seen those, get on board and take a look at those on our website, our Facebook page. ColorblindAwareness.org and Dean's Tree Service and Best Mortgage jumped on board for the Freedom Factory race. And really, I think hopefully we did them justice. They came on board. Dean's Tree Service and Best Mortgage helped us out with the mini mods, helped us out with a purse with that.
Awesome. Well, we got to get going here. Again, Woody, we appreciate the time and all the information.
Well, thank you. Anytime you want, more information, give us a holler. Like I say, check us out on Facebook, National Compact Touring Series, presented by RevX. Go to our websites, nationalcompacts.com or midwestdirtracing.com.
Are you going to be here in Toledo for the Toledo race?
I plan on it. If I have to, I might bring my daughter with me. Every other weekend, I get my daughter, try to spend as much time as I can. So I don't hit every track, but Toledo's one of those that, I think Rand's going to make me come.
There you go.
Maybe we'll get together then.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. You take care.
Thanks,
all right, thank
Woody.
you. Great show, guys. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. There you go. Michael Wood, co-owner of, I don't like myself big here. There we go.
National Compact Series.
Yes, National Compact Touring Series. Yeah, they've grown quite a bit in the 10 years and continuing to expand. So, and compacts are not just for kids anymore.
No. They are not just your basic entry-level race cars. They are serious.
So, besides Corey Gumb's car, do you work on any other super fast?
A few. Well, Corey is fast.
Okay. Well, I know that. That's what I'm saying, other than his. We're going to give away some Big D's Pizza here in just a little bit. Speaking of Big D's in Clyde, give them a call right now, 419-547-1444. Order online at orderbigdspizza.com. They got a bologna thing. I made a note here to get the information on that. I forgot to, but I can tell you about their Super Bowl Sunday specials.
You probably better order now.
Maybe. I don't know. Large 3-topping pizza, medium cheese bread, and a 2-liter Pepsi, $21.99. That's all day on Sunday. Or they also have the 10 jumbo chicken wings for just $7.99 all day Sunday. And today is National Pizza Day. So tonight you can get a large 3-topping pizza for $9.99.
That's a good deal.
Yeah. And I think John and I are heading out to Big D's this weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't forget.
I got to celebrate Pizza Day a couple days late.
Don't forget your friends back home.
All right. We'll see. Big D's and Clyde, big on taste, not on price. Big on, yeah. Ron Miller Race Cars, Lambertville, Michigan. Give them a call, 734-856-7223 for race cars, parts, safety equipment, service, fixing rusty rear ends.
Yeah, that'll happen pretty soon.
Okay. And safety, yeah, I already mentioned the safety equipment, such as belts, right?
Right.
Good. Awesome. Before we get to our how many and some pizza to give away, we do have a little bit of
latest racing news.
Jay Cornette announced he is headed to asphalt to wheel a super late model at Flat Rock Speedway in 2023.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I guess they made that announcement at the Palmyra go-kart banquet.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, is that his...
That is all I know. So don't ask me any questions.
Don't know whose car, huh?
So he's going from the dirt truck, where he had that bad crash this past year.
You know what? Going from dirt to pavement, I'll bet he is going to be very, very fast. He's a great driver.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing how that goes, definitely. Butler Motor Speedway, Quincy, Michigan, will kick off its 71st season on Saturday, May 6th, with a regular show of 410 Sprints, modified street stocks, and 4 cylinders. Some of their season highlights include the return of the Tezos All-Star Circuit of Champions on August 26th, the Summer Nationals Hell Tour, July 13th, the Great Lakes Super Sprints will be there on June 17th and August 19th, and the Great Lakes Traditional Sprints, June 3rd and July 29th. That is Butler Motor Speedway.
Kind of looking forward to maybe the late models being included in their season-ending weekend. Yeah, that'd be cool. I like that.
Are you planning a bug?
I like that track.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
All right. Kevin Harvick announced during the pre-race show on Sunday that he will join Mike Joy and former teammate Clint Boyer in the Fox Sports booth beginning in 2024.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess we get to hit. He's starting. I used to like him. He's starting to remind me of a grumpy old man now. And now he's going to have a microphone, and I'm going to have to listen to the grumpy old man. So
maybe he'll go back to his former self.
Maybe. We'll see. 54th running of the International 500 Snowmobile Race that was held in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan on Sunday. It produced the closest finish ever. Did you see the video of that?
I did.
That was pretty incredible. 500 miles. And then they were that close. That's great. 9 hours. 9 hours of racing. I keep losing my place here. Tommy Bauer Racing with team members Tyler Nichols, Cody Bauer, Joe Birch, and Nick Wickerman, and team owners Chad Bauer and Mike Otto took the victory by 0.0001. That's 1/10,000th of a second.
It was like a dead heat.
Yeah.
And then amazingly, they had a transponder that figured it out that close.
It was the team's first International 500 victory. Of course, Cody and Chad drive dirt modifieds and late models throughout Michigan and Ohio. So the Bowers, I'm sure you've probably heard of them.
Yeah.
So pretty cool deal there. Attica Raceway Park issued a rules update for the 2023 season. Former Fremont promoter Rich Farmer will conduct tech inspections of sprint cars in 2023. Farmer says safety equipment, wings, engines, and tires will be inspected. As for the tires, Attica Raceway Park, at Attica Raceway Park, all racing divisions must have Hoosier tires on all 4 corners of the car. For both Attica and Fremont, for the 305 and 410 sprints, 2022 season Hoosier rear tires, the H12, H15, and medium tires, as well as this year's Hoosier rear tires, the D12A and D15A, and medium tires will be permitted for the entire season.
Really?
For weekly events.
Not a burn off and
the burn off is the entire season. But 410 sprints will need to follow sanctioning body rules on applicable dates, which I believe referring to the World of Outlaws and the All Stars and possibly the Fast series as well. But for the weekly shows, those are your tire rules for Attica and Fremont. UMP late models at Attica will be permitted to use the 2022 season permitted Hoosier tires, the late model 20, 30, and 40, as well as this year's national late model tire 2, 3, and 4.
Not the D2?
This is what it says.
Ooh.
Fire suppression systems will be highly recommended, but not required for all sprint cars in competition at Attica Raceway Park and Fremont Speedway, though the 410s will again need to follow sanctioning body rules on applicable dates.
Did you see that Jimmy McCune is starting a
You mentioned
business,
that last week for the
dealing with safety equipment geared towards the sprint car folks.
Yeah. So if you need some, get a hold of Jimmy McCune or get a hold of Ron, and he will get you in touch with him.
He's the sprint car expert. He got burned pretty badly, so...
Is he running a sprint car this year, do you know?
Yes.
Okay. On the dirt?
Yes. And on pavement.
And on asphalt still?
Yep, a little bit of both.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think they're down Volusia.
What about on ice?
I don't know.
Here's a transition. You like that transition? Sprint cars on ice. They will be in action the February 2nd. This past weekend's thing was scrubbed because it's been way too warm.
Right.
But up there in Sault Ste. Marie, I guess it's been cold enough. They have on the schedule March 4th on the St. Mary's River.
Ooh.
In Sault Ste. Marie. The sprint cars on ice are going to be up there part of GLSS, Barry Marlowe and the
Yeah.
guys from New England
Right.
putting that together. So we'll have more information on that in the coming weeks. Reports had recently circulated stating that Kyle Busch was detained in Mexico. The reports noted that a gun violation was the cause. Mexican Prosecutor General's office put out a press release confirming the incident involved a Nevada man who they identified as Kyle Thomas B. They noted the incident occurred on January 27th, and the man carried hollow point bullets. Mexico noted that Bush was sentenced to 3.5 years in prison and also fined $1,100. Those don't equal out very well.
Pretty sure he won't be going back to Mexico for a while.
Though he was released, and there is no conclusion as to how Bush would serve the sentence. I believe Kyle had. I've been kind of reading little stories here and there about it, and he thought the issue was resolved. So I'm not sure where exactly things stand. But you're right. I don't think he'll be going to Mexico.
I read a lot of it, and I thought, this is strange.
Yeah, it was a weird story. Finally, Natalie Decker will be joining Emmerling Gase Motorsports for a part-time schedule in both the ARCA Menard Series and the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2023, with partnerships set to begin at Daytona. Cool. And one other note.
In both series?
Part-time in both series.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she will be running both the Xfinity.
Oh, at Daytona? I don't know which series she's going to be running in at Daytona, but I guess we'll find out next week. You had one note. I guess Corey McCoy had posted something about the Stocktober event.
Pretty exciting. That was a fun race to watch last year.
And if you're not familiar, it was the Oakshade Super Stocks versus the Fremont Dirt Trucks versus Toledo Speedway Factory Stocks.
Yeah.
Which only one showed up, but she did a good job.
Right. And
she won more than me for showing up.
Ooh. Yeah, but
he hasn't announced a track or date or anything yet, just that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And
the folks from Fremont have assured him that they have a date.
And we haven't got the Oakshade schedule yet, so I don't know if Corey's been in touch with them, but
I don't know.
Fingers crossed. That'd be kind of cool.
Wouldn't that be cool?
It would be. Maybe we could have two races.
I know that he's working on another class as a companion class for this. It wouldn't be racing with the cars
in the same
trucks,
group. Yeah, I gotcha.
But
so it'd be a two-class night.
Yeah. And some of the possibilities that he kicked around are exciting.
Awesome. He didn't mention any like timelines as far as like after the season.
I believe it'll be the week or two after the
regular season
the Ford Classic.
Okay. That is fair. We did have a message this week.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, on the Hammer Down hotline. But I believe it's one we've already discussed.
Really?
Yeah. It was which track has the best food? Hard to beat a Oakshade cheeseburger at midnight after payout or the cheese on a stick at Fremont?
I haven't tried the cheese on a stick.
I haven't tried the cheese on a stick either. I was like, I'm not familiar with that. So apparently, he would know better than us. I don't know. What do you guys think? Put your what track you think has the best food and what food it is in the comments. I think it's Big D's Pizza, but I'm a little biased on that.
Yeah, maybe
Big D's Pizza that you bring to the track. Just saying.
It's close.
Yeah.
Just down the road a piece.
Speaking of which, how about we give away some Big D's Pizza?
How many?
So last week's How Many was how many cars will finish on the lead lap of the Busch Light Clash. There were so many cautions, nobody went a lap down because they couldn't lap, and then it was hard to pass.
That's what I said. You know, there's going to be a lot of cautions, and there's going to be lucky dog after lucky dog. So
22 of the 27 cars finished on the lead lap. You said 18, I said 17, so
I win.
Yeah, you won.
Oh, better yet, you lose.
We had two people pick the correct amount in our comments last week, but only one will win the Big D's Pizza because one of those guys was Dean Henry, the owner of Big D's Pizza, and the other one is this week's winner, Kurt Dickey.
All right.
He picked 19. He was the highest. We had nobody in the 20s. So, Kurt Dickey, congratulations. You got yourself a Big D's Pizza. You have 30 days to claim your pizza. This week's How Many and a chance to win a Big D's pizza. This is a math problem. Got to do a little bit of math.
All right.
I'm incorporating two things here. First off, here, we'll even put this so you can read it. How many total points will be scored in the Super Bowl on Sunday? Plus, how many World of Outlaw sprints will be in competition Saturday night at Volusia? And I hear that there may be some weather this weekend in Florida, so that may affect the number. I'm not sure. But, yeah, how many total points? That's the total points that the Chiefs and the Eagles score. So say it's the final score is 20-10. That's 30. Plus, how many Outlaws at Volusia? Say they have 40, so then your guess would be 70. See, it's a lot of math. This is a hard one.
Yeah.
You're going to earn your pizza this week.
You had to throw 70 out there because I was going to say 72. So that was a good tease.
Is that your number?
72.
All right. You go 72.
Since you were the first loser.
I'm going 73 because I've been going
there we go.
one lower than you the past few weeks, and it has not been working. So I'm going 73. And if you'd like a chance to win that Big D's pizza, go ahead and put your guess in our Facebook comments or our YouTube comments, the YouTube Live, Facebook Live, if you're listening to us.
And the deadline is noon on Saturday.
Yeah, noon on Saturday is probably good. Noon on Saturday. So you have until noon on Saturday. So if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever, you can still get yourself entered. Even if you're not listening to us live, just go on our Facebook page and find this broadcast. Probably be the last post right there. And just go into the comments, type in a number. Boom, you're entered. Just like that.
And you, too, can win a Big D's pizza.
Yeah, I like that Kurt Dickey picks his number. 62 there. So we'll determine that winner next week. And, yeah, that's your legal betting for the Hammer Down Racing Report, I guess. I don't know.
This weekend's Big D's Pizza Racing Menu.
Moving on, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, the 47th Annual Wheeling Winter Nationals continue tonight through Saturday. That's when they wrap things up for a while, I believe. Then they're off until Atomic in March.
Unless they travel just up the road.
Well, it's the last Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series sanctioned event for this month. Also in action, the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. They'll take over Volusia Speedway Park tonight through Saturday. And the Tezos All-Star Circuit of Champions, they moved from Volusia earlier this week. They're going to be going to East Bay on Monday and Tuesday of next week.
So they're just...
Yes, so they're flip-flopping.
They're just smacking the microphone around.
Monday and Tuesday, the 13th and 14th, Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming up. So, I don't even... They're just... It's going to be mostly the same racers in both of these things.
It is.
But just different sanctioning bodies running it. So there you go. So you got the Lucas Oil Dirt Late Model Series, the World of Outlaw Sprints, and the All-Star Sprints this weekend and into early next week. And then I believe the following weekend is World of Outlaw Late Model Series back in action. 16th, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
So there you go. That is your Big D's Pizza Racing Menu. And that's about it for this edition of the Hammer Down Racing Report. We got some Lucas Oil Late Model action or Volusia action to go watch, I believe.
Yes,
Was it
sir.
still on the TV downstairs?
Yes.
All right. Thanks to associate producer Dave Kemmer, contributors Matt Swanner, John Young, Doug Dock, and Bob Stazak. Be sure to like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at Hammer Report. Follow us on YouTube. We got actually quite a few folks on YouTube. I didn't think we had that many. I looked the other day. I was like, wow. Listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And, of course, check out HammerdownRacingReport.com for shows and information, everything. And also on the social media or the podcast platforms, make sure to rate and review us. And share us with your friends. It helps us.
Are we still a thing in Australia?
Well, of course we are. We're always a thing. I don't know if we're charting, but
okay.
Thanks to our sponsors, Big D's Pizza, Oakshade Raceway, Ron Miller Race Cars, Freeze Frame Photos, Headhunters Barber Studio and Salon. And thanks again to our guests this week, both Michael Wood and
AJ and Woody.
AJ and Woody. Sounds like Toy Story or something.
It does.
So we'll see you next week, next Thursday night, 7 o'clock. We'll be back here competing with some more racing action, I'm sure, because
thanks for
it's
watching.
Florida Speed Weeks. Enjoy your Super Bowl. And, yeah, what he said. Thanks for watching. Okay. We're leaving as soon as I can find that button right there. We're out. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You have been listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report, available on demand on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting platform.